Hi everyone, my name is Anita Ladhani. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and an energy practitioner. And today I want to talk about people pleasing. So, are you a people pleaser? So, let's start by defining what makes a people pleaser. So, a people pleaser is someone who basically does things to so that other people will like them, or they'll do stuff because they don't want other people to be mad at them or and not like them. So that's a people pleaser. And that comes up in many different ways of how we sort of fall into this trap of people pleasing, right? We all genuinely, basic human need is to want to be accepted, want to be included, want to be loved, respected for who we are. But sometimes this need to fit in, this need to be accepted is makes us forget who we really are and makes us compromise on what we believe. We kind of forget what we believe. So let's look at some of the ways we actually, fall into this trap. How does this play out in life? So, for example, in there's this saying, you dress to impress, right? Or in India, Pakistan, there's a saying, dress in a dress. Okay, so you dress to impress, or you dress and your address is a very simple sort of thing, right? But so what that means is how you dress. You dress with the intention of not making yourself feel good, but you dress with the intention of impressing whoever it is that you're around. So I recently meaning it's all relative. A few months ago, got asked this by someone, and they came up to me and they said, I have these clothes that are from last season. Now, first of all, I'm the last person to ask for fashion advice. Look at how I dress, and I really don't care, right, about fashion. I dress in however I feel comfortable. And so they came to me and they said, I have all these clothes, but I don't wear them because they're last season. So, what do you think about that? And I was like, really? So I said, I think that you should wear them. If you like wearing them and if you feel beautiful in them, then you should wear them. It's really as simple as that. And so who cares? I mean, why are you not wearing them? And they said, well, what will people say? They'll talk about how my clothes are not current or up to date. And I was like, well, those people that supposedly will talk about you are really not your friend or your well-wishers anyway. So do you really care about their opinion? And she thought from it and she goes, yeah, you're right. It makes sense. Now, sure, in the moment, she got it. But hopefully, when she goes home, she'll actually really got it versus, just getting it in the minute and then forgetting. This whole dress and address thing is very big in the East. So, how a person dresses and also where they live. And this is true even here. And not just that, but also the car you drive apparently is used to make judgments about the person. Now, sure, there is, I'm sure, a group of people or a class of people who do just that. And if you fall into that, more power to you. But, for me, there's just bigger issues at hand and different ways that I might or one might choose to live in a certain place or drive a certain car or dress a certain way. We don't know people's situations. We don't know, why they're choosing. Maybe they can afford it. And what's wrong with that? If they're genuinely, living within their means, then more power to them. We should be applauding that and respecting that, not looking down at them because they're not, overstretching their limit and pretending to be something they're not. But so that's dress and address, just being authentic at the end of the day, being true to what it is that who you are and what you're capable of and whatever is true to your value system, I think is the key here. The other way, people pleasing shows up is that, when we say yes when we actually want to say no. Okay. So for example, if you're at your kid's school and they want you to volunteer and they want you to bake, cupcakes for the bake sale, right? And you really don't have time because you work jobs, or you've got a sick kid, or you're taking care of someone. But bottom line is, you just don't have the bandwidth to do it. But you feel that you can't say no, because if you say no, then they're going to judge you for being not a good mom or not a good dad or whatever. Or you feel obligated, to do something. That's another way that shows up, okay? And another way that people pleasing shows up is when we brag, when we talk about ourselves, we talk about our kids, we talk about our possessions, we talk about our accomplishments, we talk about, accomplishments of our kids, where they go to college, where they go to school. We talk about what competition your son or your daughter won. We talk about, who we know, where we went on vacation. Now, mind you, it's okay to share, but the bottom line between all of this is, why do we do it? Okay. But there's one more thing I want to talk about before we sort of understand why we do the people pleasing. Another way we do it is, it's called, Brene Brown calls it, common enemy friendship. Okay. So when we connect, we so-called have a friendship because we hate the same person, or we dislike something, or we're not happy about someone. So we band together by complaining about, the other person, and that common enemy is what creates the bond. Well, that's not a genuine friendship anyways. It's not based on mutual respect. It's not based on commonalities. It's not based on mutual love. It's based on a common enemy. That's fear-based. How can that be love? So why do we do the people pleasing? Why do we have the dress, needing to impress, the dressing to impress? Why do we say yes when we actually want to say no for whatever reason? Why do we care about what everyone else is saying about us? Why do we, brag about, whatever it is that we brag about? Well, I think it's okay to wear the name brand clothes. Great, go for it. It's great to say yes if that's what you want to do and you're able to do it. It's great to, talk about your accomplishments or talk about your kids' accomplishments. I do it all the time with my loved ones. If I'm really proud of something, I posted my Costa Rica pictures on there, right? But the intention is what matters. It all comes down to some basic principles, and this is no different. So what is my intention, right? And I'll ask you the same question. So ask yourself, what is my intention? What does that mean? Intention is, why are you doing something? Whatever it is, as simple as it is, in every moment, in every of your day, whatever it is you're doing, ask yourself, what is my intention? When someone's writing a big check to a charity, right? And really ask yourself, what is your intention? Okay. And I've been guilty of that. When I'm doing some seva, I'm helping someone, my ego comes in the way. As much as I, consider myself to be, quite grounded and humble, I still have an ego, and my ego comes in the way. And for a minute I'll be like, oh, look what a nice thing I'm doing. I'm doing God's work. Even that simple thought to me is taking me off my path, because, what is my intention? Is my intention so that somebody else says, oh, look at Anita, what a wonderful job she's doing? Or is my intention truly just to be of service, right? If it's so that other people talk about how amazing I am, then I'm going to want to brag about it, right? And I'm going to talk about in a very subtle, and some people are masters at this passive sort of, manipulation and passive sort of name dropping and passive like, oh, look at, what a wonderful thing I did. When really the reason why they did it is because they want people to say, oh, you're such an amazing person. Intention. So if my intention is that, then I just wiped off whatever positive karma, whatever positive benefit I was going to get, wiped off, done. Same reason, Khorshid Bhavnagri, in her book, Laws of the Spirit World, which is an amazing book. If you haven't read it yet, you can't get it in the States. Unfortunately, it's a publication from India. You can get it on eBay these days for I don't even know, it's 12, $15, but it's reasonably priced versus Amazon for whatever reason has it for $600. But you can get it on eBay. So if you haven't read that book, Khorshid Bhavnagri, who's already passed away, talks about this concept of intention very, very clearly. And, it in the book, she talks about, that it's when you are doing something, when you are, doing voluntary service, when you're writing those big checks, you're involved in the mosque or the temple, and you're doing it with the desire to get into heaven, then you just wiped off your any chance of you possibly getting in heaven, right? Because again, it comes down to your intention. Your intention is not to be of service. Your intention is greed. Your intention is self-serving. Your intention is so you get into heaven, and in doing so, you just wiped up everything. So I want to leave you with this. Whenever you find yourself in a situation where you have this twinge, have this need to maybe say yes, or maybe you're doing something, ask yourself, what is the reason I want to say yes? Why am I really doing something? Why am I really buying this new outfit? Is it because it makes me happy and it brings me joy? Or is it because I want to impress people and I want people to say, oh, look how rich she is, or look how fashionable she is, or look how beautiful she is? Because at the end of the day, folks, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Life is short. Life is brief. Life is precious, right? Do you really want to live it trying to please other people, or do you want to live it pleasing your maker, right? And the only way we can please our maker is by living a life that you're aware, you're conscious, you are mindful, you are striving to, think and before you act. You're not going to be able to do it all the time. You're not, but it's okay. At least you're aware. At least you're trying. That is bigger than, not trying. That's better than sleepwalking, right? So I leave you with this. Question yourself. What is the true reason? What is my real reason for doing whatever it is that I'm doing? And then sit and make the decision, or change your decision, or change the intention with why you do it. Be clear about that. I hope this has been helpful. Let me just check to see if there's any. Hi, Anna. Anna says, I always look forward to your videos. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate your support. Okay, guys, thank you. If there's any questions or any comments, I'm sure there will be. With love and light, take care and God bless. Bye.